Today's session, we are going to learn about SQL commands. SQL commands. When it comes to commands, commands are useful to interact with the database. To interact with the database. If you want to tell something to your database, if you want to tell database to create a table, you have to give some command. To interact or to communicate with the database, we have something called commands. Commands are useful to interact or communicate with the database. When it comes to SQL, we have 5 types of command languages. 5 types of command languages. They are DDL, data definition language. DDL, data definition language. DML, data manipulation language. DML, data manipulation language. DQL, data query language. DQL, data query language. TCL, transaction control language. Transaction control language. And also DCL, data control language. Data control language. We have DDL, data definition language. DML, data manipulation language. DQL, data query language. TCL, transaction control language. And DCL, data control language. These are the 5 types of command languages which are present in SQL. Among them, in DDL, we have multiple commands called create, alter, drop, truncate. Create, alter, drop, truncate. Create, alter, drop, truncate. We have one more thing called rename, which can also be used in alter also. Rename. These are the DDL commands we have in SQL. Okay. When it comes to DDL, what is the first command? Create. Create. Create is used to create database, table, or any other database objects. Create is used to create database, table, and other database objects. Table is also one of the most important database object. Similarly, we have multiple database objects like views, stored procedures, functions, cursors, triggers, and all. For creating any database object, we have a command called create. For example, for creating database, we have to use create database and we have to do database name. For creating table, create table, table name. Like that. For creating view, create view, view name. Like that, we have to use this create command. For suppose we have a table with 4 columns. Already we went through this student table, right? Student ID, name, age. I have 3 columns. Okay, I have student details with this following columns. Now, I want to add one more column called gender to the table. I created this table by using create command. I already created this table. Now I want to add one more column called gender. Table is already created. Now I want to add one more column to it. Gender or phone number, whatever it might be. I want to add few more columns. What can I do? I have to use the command called alter. Alter. Alter is used to modify the structure of the table or any database object. Modify the structure of the table or any database object. Alter is used to modify the structure of the table and any other database objects and other database objects. They are view stored procedure. After table, we will discuss about this database. Table is also the first database object. Table is also one of the database object, which will take 50% of the portion. Is most important database object. We have multiple other database objects also, like view stored procedures and all. We will discuss about them later after completing about table. In brackets, you can keep like add column to existing table. If table is already existing, if you want to add one more column, you can add that column or remove column from existing table. Even if you want to remove any existing column, you can remove it. No rows. Not rows. We can rename the columns also. We can rename if we have, if we give some data type to the column. If the data type is not sufficient, we can change data types also. After alter, we have something called drop. Drop is used to remove table from database. Drop is used to remove table from database. And also to remove database from the system. If you want to remove table from your database, you can drop that particular table. Table will be removed from the database completely. And also you can remove database from the system. We can also drop other database objects like views and all. For removing anything from your system, if you don't want it, if you don't want this particular table which is already created, you want to remove it, you have to give drop table name. Table will be removed from the system completely. Sorry, table will be removed from the database completely. First thing, where will any data store? Data will be stored in hard disk. Any data. In hard disk, we are creating one database. We are creating one database. Database is nothing but of a folder, like a folder, which will allow us to create table to do some database functionalities. I created one database. This is database. This is hard disk. In this database, I have multiple tables. If I deleted this table, from where this table is getting deleted? From database or something else? From database. If I remove this table, if I deleted this table, it is getting deleted from database. If I deleted this database, where it is getting deleted from? Hard disk. Same thing. To remove table from database or database from system. But we should not use the terminology called delete here, because for delete command there is some other function. We have something next command called truncate. Truncate is used to remove all records present in the table at the same time in single step. Truncate is used to delete or to remove. To delete all records present in the table in single step. In single step. It will delete all the records present in table only in single step. It will not take multiple steps. If you use truncate table name, it will remove all the records, all the values present in the table only in single step. After using truncate, you will have empty table. Empty table. Empty table will be there. All the values will be removed in single step. Yeah. No, will not. Okay, I will tell you that particular thing. We are using truncate, all records present in the table will be removed or deleted in a single step. An empty table will be remain. After using truncate, only we will have empty table. No values will be present in table. Even if you have 1 crore records, everything will be deleted in single step. Headings, yeah, column names will be there. Empty table will be there. Table structure will be as usual. Column names and all will be there. But values will not be there. All these values will be removed. Values will be removed. Only empty table will be there, like student ID, name, age, and yeah. To remove table from database, not data. If you use drop, even column names will also not present. Completely table will be removed. Table will not exist. But after using truncate, table will be there, but values will not present. These are the most important DDL commands we have. We will discuss about rename also. Create, alter, drop, and truncate. Okay. among these commands, for creating anything, we use some command called create. What is the command for creating database? Create database, database name. Create database, database name. I am taking it as practice. Database name is practice. Create database and give one database name. After creating this particular database, while writing queries in MySQL Workbench, every query should be end with semicolon. You have to give semicolon after each and every query. After creating this database, if we have multiple databases in SQL, in real time, we will be working with 20 or 30 databases parallelly. We will have multiple databases. No, not case sensitive. Not case sensitive. You can give any, you can use any case. After creating databases, if you have multiple databases and you want to work in one specified database, you can't write next query directly. You have to use one specified database. For using one specified database, you have a command called use database name. For example, I want to use practice database. I have to run use practice. Use practice. Use practice. After selecting one database, now I want to create one table in the database. I want to create one table in the database. For creating a table in the database, we have command called create table. For creating database, create database. For creating table, create table. Create table. Now I am taking table name as student table. Table. After writing table name, we have to open and close the parenthesis and give semicolon. In between these parentheses, we have to give column names and their data types. For example, in this student table, I have 4 columns called student ID, age, student ID, name, age. I have these 3 columns. I have to give data type for age. I have to give data type for age. I have to give data type for name. I have to give data type for student ID. I have to give data types for all these 3 columns. To give data types, we have to learn the concept called data types in SQL.